Okay, so far we've already talked about the threats to salmon and steelhead and trout in the freshwater environment, and now I'd like to talk about some potential solutions that are specific to Napa. So as we all know, Napa County has a really robust agricultural economy on which it depends, and that drives a lot of the jobs in the area. So it's a critical part of the fabric of that area. And so that means it's got to be a critical part of the solutions. So this approach that I'm going to talk about now is really dependent entirely upon private property owners wanting to get engaged and incentivized to do this approach. These are cold water fish, so that means they need that cold water through the summer and fall months, often when the crops need the water the most too, or human beings. So we have to find ways to try to draw water from the creek when it's there and save it and keep it in the creek at the times when these fish need it the most. One way you can do that is you can encourage landowners to build ponds on their property. That way they can draw water off in the wintertime when there's plenty of rainfall to go around and store it for those summer and fall months. And then they do not have to divert from the creek during that time. This ensures that the farmers still get their full allocation of water. It's just they shift the timing when they take that water. So it's available to use when their crops need it, but it's also, there's plenty left in the creek for those fish to keep the pools connected and keep the streams flowing during the summer and fall. That's one specific way that we can help address the need for cold water for a fish in Napa County. In terms of scale, it really depends on landowners getting engaged, and it's kind of one by one. So ideally you'd use this approach with some of the larger landowners, especially down in the lower valley of Napa, because that's going to be at a scale that's going to make a difference. And also in key tributaries to the Napa River, both east and west, you could target key landowners in key reaches. So what I mean by that is there's some areas of tributaries that go dry before they reach the Napa River. If you could engage landowners strategically in those areas where the creek enters the main stem Napa River, that might actually be able to get you enough flow to keep those areas flowing longer, so those fish have a chance to go out into the main stem Napa River if they want, rather than staying in the small tributaries for the whole year. That solution is something that's feasible. It's being replicated across California right now in partnership with the ag community, private landowners, nonprofit groups like Cal Trout or Trout Unlimited, and many others. And really what's needed from the public is bond funding. So all those bonds that you and I vote on in the election cycles, those provide money for these type of projects, these multi-benefit projects, we call them, that benefit agricultural interests, they benefit fish and wildlife, and they make sure that we can still continue to have thriving business and thriving fish in Napa County and beyond.